Okay, so I'm at work right now, but I decided to come on break and to just do a quick video for YouTube because I've been posting mostly on TikTok. And one of my viewers asked me to talk about hexing family members and some of the cons that may come with it. Now, when it comes to hexing family members, they ask, is this okay to do? And I feel like I got to answer in two parts. One part being, because I'm a person of duality, you know, to build and to destroy, you know. So I always say, let me start with the ancestors and giving the good part. When it comes to hexing family members that have done you wrong, this is what I would call a slippery slope. Because depending on who you are as an individual and your mentality, you may be a little bit too unjust to your family members. You may want to, some people, like I said, some people feel that what they go through is the biggest thing that ever happens in their life. Like if you prick them with a needle, they'll feel like you stabbed them with a knife. And sometimes we don't know when we're this type of individual. So when it comes to hexing family members, I can't just say that it's just a black and white yes and no thing, because it really dawns down to the situation. Now, another thing is, when it comes to hexing, you don't always have to hex people the worst way. You don't have to try to kill them or anything like that. You could just give them the same treatment that they're giving you. So when it comes to hexing family members, I would say yes, me personally, you can hex family members. I would say, but you definitely want to do this underneath guidance, because you don't want to take things too far. You have to remember, people, some of these family members that you will want to hex may have their ancestors, their father who's your uncle, their mother who's your aunt, or somebody who's dead in relation to you, may be aiding you in the spiritual plane on the other side. So now you're looking to take out their family members because of, it could be over a small feud, you know. Like I said, I think the punishment in this situation when it comes to family has to be equivalent. The punishment has to be equivalent to the offense. So what I mean, like if they step on your toe, in my opinion, because it is your family and because this is spirituality, and like I said, their family is your family, so they'll be helping. You don't want to start a feud in the background in the spiritual life, because if you try to X them off for something that would go too far, for something that that their family felt was unjust, and you did them unjust, this will start a problem for you, and it could eventually slow certain spiritual things up for you. Now, if this is something that's, how you say, if this is something that you would say if it's something that is justified, they did you wrong, and you want retaliation, as long as it's just, nothing will really happen, because spirit understands what's going on. Even their spirit will understand what's going on. We're all family. They did you wrong, and they don't want to do right by you, so you call on to the ancestors to basically be the judge and juror of the situation. To me, there's nothing wrong with this. But like I said, if you're somebody who's gonna go and because they stepped on your foot, you want to chop the whole leg off, you may have some problems with their ancestors and your ancestors, and like I said, they will start bickering, and this will slow up progress for you. So you got to take this into consideration. But black and white, could you hex your family members? Yes, you definitely can hex your family members. What could happen after you hex your family members? Now that's a whole different discussion, which I just explained to you. One of the things that could happen is their family is in turn helping you, because y'all are family. This will slow up progress for you, because their family who's helping you may feel like you've done them wrong, and you could have handled it differently. Now, Ancestors, like already told me before, because I've been in situations like this is why I'm talking. You could always do shit to better your relationship with your family. Or you could just walk away from them and not deal with them. You don't always have to battle with every friggin' person that you have a problem with. Like, the things that I do, I'm not, like, if you notice, I don't wear white all the time. I'm not a white lighter of a spiritualist. I'm usually in dark colors. I deal with more aggressive spirits. This is who I am. My lifestyle that I come from is aggressive and was on a different plane. You get what I'm saying? But not every battle is a battle that you have to take up. If it's your family members that you don't get along with, you can't leave them alone. You can't move away from them. You may could do spiritual work to better your relationship with them. There's other things you could do rather than just going straight and saying, I'm gonna just deal with these people like they're not family or they're a stranger because I could do it. Just because you could don't always mean that you should. Me, I tend to be more forgiving with my family and move away from them. I don't deal with them too tough on a lot of times because they don't really even some of them, especially like not the intermediate, extended, like the further ones, they don't sometimes truly understand what I am. So to save them, I remove myself away from them. And you could do the same. I have spirits, bro. I don't need none of them. And I have my family, the few family that I do that understand what I am and love me and deal with me. They always rock out with me, and that's all I really need. Like, all I need is my spirits and the one few in my family that I fucks with. But like I was saying before, be careful because, like I said, if you start hexing one family member, it could turn into 2, it could turn into 3, and then you could actually start going, like I said, that slippery slope and start losing yourself. And then that's a whole different ballgame where your morals, your integrity just lose. And this is something I had to work within myself, but not for family members, just people in general. Sometimes you don't want to lose your integrity of who you are. Now, does that mean to save the world? Hell no. People gotta feel. But like I said, you don't always have to take the furthest way, especially when it comes to people of your bloodline. You could actually give them a little leeway and move away. Or if you do teach them a lesson, make sure it's just and use the ancestors to do so. That way they would see it's just. Don't try to use a foreign entity that don't really care about your family like that. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, their ancestors could basically be helping you, and if you do something like that, it could start a problem in the background, and it slows up your progress as well. So it's all up to what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people is gonna watch this and they don't care. They don't care. And some people, they're like me, like, you know what? We can find different ways to go about this if the problem is not that serious. All right? I hope this helped with your answers. I hope you guys, resonate with this. And until next time.